יבמות, פרק י"א, משנה ז'. משנתנו זו, this משנה, היא המשך המשנה הקודמת, is the continuation of the previous משנה, והיא מוסיפה לדון בספק בין תשעה לראשון, ספק בין שבעה לאחרון. We'll continue, let's say there was a yibum, let's say there was a yibum, and you're not sure if the kid, after he's born, after the second marriage, is 9 months from the first husband or 7 months from the second husband. That's our case. So what's the case that after the yibum, or not a yibum, not even a yibum, any case, any marriage, she didn't wait. Any marriage that she didn't wait 3 months between. You know, so she didn't marry 3 months. Now you're not sure if the new kid belongs to the first husband or to the second husband. Okay. היה אחד ישראל ואחד כהן. Was one Israel, the first husband was in Israel, let's say, and the second husband is a Kohen. אחד מן הבעלים של האישה שנישאה בתוך 3 חודשים מתת בעלה. One of the husbands of the woman that got married within 3 months of the death of her husband, או לגירושיה, or 3 months to her divorce, היה ישראל, was a Jew, ואחד כהן, and the other one was a Kohen. ונמצא בנה, and then the conclusion is that her son, הוא ספק בין תשעה לראשון, ספק בין שבעה לאחרון. It's doubt whether he's 9 months from the first one, or 7 months to the second one. In other words, we have a suffix, Safek Kohen, Safek Israel. Maybe he's a Kohen, maybe he's in Israel. We don't know.
But the Kohen have to come first, because Kohen cannot marry
No.
Grusha. Or no?
But she can be Almana.
Oh, it meant.
Yeah. She can be Almana. So it's possible both ways. Yeah.
Almana.
Yeah. She can be a widow. So now the kid doesn't know if he's a Kohen or Israel. The kid grows up, he's out throughout life, and he's not, I'm a Kohen, I'm Israel, maybe I'm a Kohen, maybe I'm Israel. What does he do? So he says, first of all, נושא אותו הבן, he's only allowed to marry that son, אישה ראויה לכהן. He's not allowed, we're not going to let him marry a divorcee. Yeah? He has to marry a woman that's befitting to a Kohen. כשרה לכהן, someone who's kosher for a Kohen. Shema hu Kohen, maybe he's a Kohen. Second of all, he cannot go to funerals. אינו מתאמה למתים, he's not allowed to go to become impure to the dead. שספק איסור לחומרה. Because we have a rule that we have a suffix, a doubt on a prohibition, we always go strict. ואם נטמא למת, let's say he didn't listen, he did go to a funeral, yeah? Now you say, a Kohen goes to the funeral, we give him lashes. So it says, ואם נטמא למת, and if he does become impure to the dead, אינו סופג את 40. So even though he's not allowed to, you can give him lashes if he does. אינו מקבל מכות 40, על שעבר על עליו, לנפש לא יטמא. He cannot get 40 lashes that he went over the prohibition to a soul, you should not defile yourself. שהרי אינו אלא ספק כהן, he's going to tell them, prove to me that I'm a Kohen. Yeah? ואינו אוכל בתרומה. Also, you cannot eat a truma. שמא ישראל, because he might be Israel. And אם אכל תרומה, what happens if he did eat truma? Again, it says, אינו משלם קרן וחומש. He doesn't pay the קרן וחומש, because you can't give it. You cannot take it away from him. שיכול לו לומר, כהן אני, ואין מוצאים, ממנו ספק. If you're talking about money, you cannot take out the money from doubt. ואינו חולק על הגורן, and he cannot come to the goren, to the place, and demand the 2% that he wants. אינו נותן חלק בתרומה שמחלקים אותה על הגורן. הוא מוכר התרומה שהוא הפריש מתבואתו. And he's allowed to use the truma that he's a farmer. Yeah? Usually we need to give 2% to the Kohen. Yeah? But over here he's going to say, maybe I cannot eat it, but you know what I can do? I can sell it. At least I can get benefit out of it. So if he was in Israel, he has to give it to the Kohen for free. Now he can sell it to the Kohen. Because, yeah, it's my money. It's my money. You want to prove that it's not my money? Take it out from me. Prove it that it's not my money. I cannot eat it, that's technicality. But it's my money, that's what he says. והדמים שלו, and the money belongs to him. שאינו חייב ליתן לכהן, לא את התרומה ולא את דמיה. He's not obligated to give to the Kohen, neither the truma, not its money. שיכול לומר לו, because again, we're talking about money things, not about God things. הווה ראיה, שלא אין לי כהן. Says, you want to take money out of me? You bring the proof that I'm not a Kohen. I am muhzak, I am holding the money. You have a proof? No, I have a proof as much as you do. We're equal in proof. So therefore the money stays with me until you're stronger than me. But, continuing, אינו חולק בקודשי המקדש, he doesn't get part in the holy parts of the temple, אפילו בקדושים שאינה בני אכילה. I mean, of course, the meat for sure not, but we're not even talking about the meat, we're talking about the hides. What about the hides? כגון באורות הקורבנות, for example, the hides of the sacrifices. ואין נותנים לו את הקודשים, and you do not give him the קודשים, the sacrifice, קורבנות להקריבם, sacrifice to bring them, ויש מפרשים, that of course you don't give it to him. Some say it's obvious, he's not a Kohen. So what do some says? שאין נותנים לו בכורות וחרמים. The Kohen used to get the Bechor or the Cherem, yeah, that he doesn't get. כמו שהבנו לעיל בביאור משנה ה', just like we explained before in משנה ה'. ואין מוציאים את שלו מידו. But on the other hand, you cannot take his out of his hand. What does that mean? אם יש לו להביא חטאת, let's say he did a sin offering, או אשם, או עולה, or any kind of those offerings, אין כופים אותו לתת קורבנותיו לאנשי המשמר. You don't force him to give those part to the people who are on duty on that thing. Because he says, because I might be from that family. That's what he's going to say. אלא רשאי הוא לתנם, but he's able to give them לכל כהן ולכל משמר שירצה. So in other words, he has to give them away because he cannot eat it. Yeah, he's not allowed to eat, he's not a Kohen. But he says, usually if in Israel comes, who does he give it to? He gives it to the person who works on the thing. If a Kohen brings it, the Kohen can take it to himself. Yeah, he cannot take it to himself. But you know what he can do? I can give it to whomever I want. Since I can give it to myself, I can give it to my uncle who's not even serving this week. I want to give it to him. But he's a Kohen, that's right. ולפי פירוש אחר, according to another explanation, אם נולד לו בכור, or another explanation like we brought in משנה ה', if he had a firstborn cow, אין מוציאים אותו מידו. You don't have the power to take out the firstborn calf out of him, ונוהג בו כמפורט להלן, but he has to give it, he has to sell it to whomever he wants. הוא פטור מן הזרוע והלחיים והקיבה, and what a regular Jew needs to give to the Kohen, yeah, he doesn't need to give to the Kohen, all the parts of the animal, המתנות הניתנות לכהנים, all the gifts that were given to the Kohen by in Israel, he is not obligated to give those. Yeah, I don't know what the rule for them. If anybody can eat them, or if only a Kohen can eat them, then he cannot eat them. Again, he can give it to his uncle, but he doesn't have to give it to them. What happens? We said he doesn't need to give his bechor, but he's not allowed to eat his bechor either. So what is he going to do with it? Just have a show of it? You know, he's not allowed to work. He's not allowed to do things. So what are you going to do it? ובכורו, so the firstborn, יהא רואה עד שיסתאב. He will let him go around until it will become, until it will have a blemish. שיפול בו מום. ויאכלנו במומו. And then he's allowed to eat it because it has a blemish. Because this is also, שאף ישראל מותר לאכול בכור בעל מום. Because this is even Israel is allowed to do that trick. ונותנים עליו חומרי כהנים וחומרי ישראלים. And we're going to put upon him all the strictness of the Kohanim and all the strictness of the regular Jews. Hainu, what are we talking about? Li'inyan minchato, for example, when he brings a wheat offering, yeah, she nikmetzet keminchat Israel. There's a different way a wheat offering a regular Jew brings and a Kohen will bring. So he will bring it. There are some things that a regular Jew is more strict, and there are some things that a Kohen is more strict. So for him, you're going to do both. Both sides more strict. והקומץ קרב בפני עצמו. The comets will be brought by itself. ואין שיירי הנחלים אלא נשרפים. And the remainders are going to be eaten, not going to be eaten, but they were going to be burnt. כמנחת כהן, just like the mincha of כהן, שהיא נשרפת כולה, that you burn all of it for the כהן. אלא שמספק נשרפים השיירים בית הדשן. I don't know what, כמו שבארנו לעיל, במשנה זהו. I'm not quite sure what he's referring to over here, but the gist of it we understand, that he's going to have the strictness both of a Kohen and both of an Israel, whatever they are. Hayush nehem, let's look at another thing. Hayush nehem, shnei habaalim, harishon ve'ashani. Let's say both of the husbands were Kohanim. So you say, excellent, both the husbands Kohanim are very happy. Everything works good. It doesn't work so good. Let's see why not. והרי הבן הוא ספק בין 9 לראשון, ספק בין 7 לאחרון, ודאי כהן. So now we know for sure he's a Kohen. But what's the problem? So the problem is, who onen alehem? I can't see the second case. He says, "Who onen alehem," means one of them dies, he becomes onen on them. But if the first one is alive, let's say the case is like this, just to make it more less complicated. Yeah, the case is like this: they're both alive. You're going to ask how did the second guy get married to the wife if the first guy is alive, because it's a divorce. It's a divorce case. Let's say he went to the overseas, she didn't know, she had a witness, she got married, and now you don't know. Okay, another coin. So he still doesn't use. The thing is, he doesn't know which one is his father. Yeah, the first guy or the second one, and they both call him, and it's both legitimate. Maybe she went back to her first husband, maybe he didn't go to the first husband. Not our case, we don't care. But we have two Kohanim. How did it happen? I'm not quite sure. Yeah. If the first Kohen died, then it's easy. Oh yeah, we can just do the first Kohen died. Okay. And then it makes it easy. Then the second husband passes away. So the question is, does he have to be onen on him? Does he have to mourn? The second husband. Yeah, the first he can't be onen because it was before. The second he can be onen. So that can be the case over here. Who onen alehem? So the case is that he's onen alehem beyom mitato shel kol echad mehem, at the day. He explains over here. It's not talking about the day they died. The yortzeit. Which yortzeit does he keep? Does he keep the yortzeit of the first guy or the second guy? Yeah. Beyom mitato shel kol echad mehem dino keonen. At the day of the death of each one of them, he's keonen. Ve'asur. No, it is the day they die. It is the day they die. ואסור בעבודת הקורבנות ובאכילת הקודשים. And then what makes it immanent? On that day, he's not allowed to walk in a temple. Even though if it's his turn, he's not allowed to walk in a temple. Shema hu aviv, because maybe it's aviv. So he's got 2 days. It can be also yortzeit. Maybe you're not allowed to walk on the yortzeit of your father also. I don't know what the rules are. But for sure, the day they died, to make it easy.
It looks like the case is that she got married to the first one.
Mm-hmm. You don't know what the case is. There's no way you can know here.
Huh?
There's no way you can know what the case is. No, it's either you can have a lot of cases. Even a divorce, it's possible. The second one wasn't supposed to marry her. He did marry her. You still have to Kohanim.
I see.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of possibilities of what happened. Died, didn't die. She thought he died. Can be all. You can put almost all the cases in. It doesn't really matter for our case.
No, I was thinking if she bring him at 7 months with the first husband, but it's not going to help.
No.
Again.
Yeah, and the opposite also. Vehem onenim alav, and they have to mourn him also. Also the opposite case. If he dies, their kohanim onenim. כל אחד מהם עונן עליו ואסור בעבודה, ובחירת קדושים שספק בנו הוא. So each one of them cannot walk on the temple on that day. Another thing, the two kohanim, that is very strange, הוא אינו מטמא להם והם אינם מטמאים לו. He cannot become tameh to them, and then they cannot become impure for him if one of them dies. שספק איסור לחומרה, like we mentioned before. A doubt about a prohibition, we go strict. בגמרא שואלים, the Gemara asks a question, ממה ששנים המשנתנים ומוננים עליו, and the Mishnah says that they mourn him. Oh, this is our case. This is the case. משמע ששניהם קיימים. From here, what do you mean? But how can they both be alive? It doesn't make sense. וכיצד ייתכן ששני הבעלים יהיו כהנים ושניהם יהיו קיימים? How is it possible that they're both kohanim and they're both still alive? It means that there was a divorce. What's the second one doing married? Yeah. אם נתגרשה מהראשון, if she got divorced from the first, הרי אסור על השני. She is prohibited to the second. ואם השני נשאה בעבירה, and if the second married her with, through a sin, הרי הוא הבן ספק חלל. Then he's also, besides being ספק כהן, he's also ספק חלל. ולמה שנינו אחר כך, הוא אינו מטמא להם? And why did we say after this, he doesn't become defiled to them? אומנם, so it says, אומנם לשני אינו מטמא, it says to the second guy, he doesn't מטמא. שמא הוא בנו של הראשון, וכהן כשר הוא. So it is a doubt halal, doubt no halal. It's basically going to from the second one. But for the first one, maybe he's doubt. So it says, what's the problem? If he's a doubt halal, he can be mechalal. He's a halal. He's not a kohen. So he says, no, because he's doubt kohen from the first one. So therefore he cannot go to the second one. אבל הראשון הרי רשאי להיטמא. But for the first one, he's permitted to become tameh. Why? שאם בנו הוא, to the first one it says, if the first husband dies, and the scenario is what we said, that she divorced and the other guy married her not correctly, הרי רשאי, שאם בנו הוא, let's go to the first one. So the first one, if he's his real son, הרי מותר לכהן להיטמא לאביו. It says a Kohen not only is allowed to marry to be מטמא to his father, he has to מטמא to his father. ואם בנו של השני הוא, and if is the son of the second one, הרי הוא כהן חלל, then he's חלל, ומותר לו להיטמא למתים, and he's allowed to become טמא to מתים. So it comes out to the first one he can go, to the second one he may never go. That's the thing. So it depends who died. Okay. ומה ששנינו והוא עונן עליהם, so it says, why did we say he's mourning on them? Well, he's not mourning on both of them. אפשר אומנם לפרש כשמת השני וכשליקט עצמותיו של הראשון. They're going to explain it, that how is it? You remember we had this before. There were two burials at the old time. There were the first burial, that the body will decompose, and then after a year you will take it and you will rebury him. That's likut atzamot. So he's talking on both days yurin onen. So he's saying like this. כשמת השני, the second died. How is it possible? The second died, וכשליקט עצמותיו של הראשון, and he collected the bones of the first. אבל איך לפרש שהם עוננים עליו, but how are you going to make the explanation that they are onen on him? That's impossible. היינו ששניהם קיימים והוא כהן כשר? You want to tell me they're both alive and he's kosher? That's impossible. Yeah? ומפרשים בגמרא, so the Gemara gives a reason, כגון, שהראשון קידש אותה על תנאי שלא נתקיים. The first one married her on a condition that she's going to give him $1 million. Yeah? And she didn't give him $1 million. ויצאה ממנו בלא גט. So therefore, he's married. He told her, you married for me from now on condition that you give me $1 million. Yeah? And they had a child. And she went, since she didn't give him $1 million, the marriage didn't take place. Right? So now she's free. She went free again. She's free. והלכה לנישאה לשני בתוך 3 חודשים. And she went and she married the second one within 3 months. שבחגון זה אפשר שיהיו שניהם קיימים. In such an example, it's a very strange example he's giving over here, but yeah, I'll give you a possibility. Yeah? והוא יהיה כהן כשר, and he's still kosher according to both things. וזהו ששנינו שהם עוננים עליו ושהוא אינו מטמא להם. Okay, whatever the case is. The point is the two kohanim. Don't ask questions how they're...
it could be. אחד הלך מעבר לים. חשבו שהוא מת. ואחרי 3 אמרו לו, הוא לא מת. הנה, והתחתנה כבר עם כל אחר.
Or the case that he gave now, tonight. Yeah, whatever the case is. Yeah. So, another thing is, who אינו יורש אותן? What about the inheritance? He doesn't get their inheritance. שהיורשים הוודאים יכולים לדחותו ולומר לו, because the other sons are going to tell him, what are you doing here? Go with the other guy. You don't belong to us. הווה ראיה שאחינו אותה. It says, bring a proof. You want to take money out of us? They tell you, bring proof that you are us. Until you bring proof, we're going holding the money. אבל הם יורשים אותו. But they inherit him. The fathers inherit the son. In what case? אם לא הניח זרע, if he didn't leave a seed, and he's a millionaire now, and he dies, who does the money go to? Goes to the father. The question is, which father? Yeah? שדינו שהאב יורשו. That the law is that the father is going to inherit it. ספקי האבות חולקים את הירושה. So what did they do? They divide. There's a millionaire, half for me, half for you. הוא פטור על מכתו ועל קללתו של זה ושל זה. And if he hit one of them, it's a death penalty, or he cursed one of them, it's the death penalty. Yeah? But now you can give him the death penalty. Why? Because he's always going to say, maybe the other guy is my father. Yeah? The question is going to be interesting. What if he hits both and he curses both?
What if he does what?
He hits both and curses both. I don't know.
I have one.
Does he? I don't know. Yeah. אם היכה או קילל את אחד מהם, אינו חייב מיתה. If he hit or cursed one of them, he is not obligated death. שאינו אלא ספק אביו, because maybe he's not his father. ברם, but אם היכה את שניהם בבת אחת, but if he hit them both together, very interesting. Look at the word together. In other words, if it's 2 different days, you're not going to be obligated. It's 2 different court cases. It's going to be 2 different court cases and you're going to go okay. Yeah? You cannot bring a previous, because you're not allowed to bring a previous court case. What are you talking about a previous court case? Talking about this case. Yeah, we're talking about this case. But if it's together, he hit them together, now the court case comes together, now he's going to get death penalty. או קילל אותם בדיבור אחד, הרי הוא חייב. Or he cursed them with one cursing. So if it's 2 cases comes to court, he's not obligated. If it's going to come to court as 1 case, he is obligated. ועולה במשמרו של זה ושל זה. Interesting thing, we said that there's a mishmar, divides into groups. The Kohanim are divided into certain families, and each family has 1 week to work in the temple. And so it says he can go with the group of this family and this family. Let's see. כבר באנו, he already explains שהכהנים היו נחלקים ל-24 משמרות. The Kohanim used to be divided into 24 sections. וכל משמר היה עובד בבית המקדש שבוע אחד לפי הסדר. And every section used to work for 1 week according to the order. וכהן זה עובד במשמרו של כל אחד מספקי העבוד שלו. He gets a double share. כלומר, באיזה משמר שירצה. Over here, it doesn't say exactly double share. We need to be very careful. Maybe not a double share, but he can choose which one. He can choose whichever one he wants. יש מפרשים שהמשנה באה להשמיענו שאין בני המשמר מעכבים עליו. It says that the people from the mishmar is not like inheritance. They can push him away. Go away. ויש מפרשים, and those who explain, שכל אחד מהמשמרות שספקי אבות יכול לקופו שיעבוד במשמר שלהם. Oh, there are some say it depends how you look at it. Do you look at it as a zchut or do you look at it as a chova? Because if it's a zchut, maybe you can say the Anshe Mishmar can push him away. You're not going to get whatever, you're not going to get the honor. But sometimes it's a chova, it's work. So they want him, and he doesn't want to work. They can say, I don't want to work today. So, okay. So it depends how you want to look at it. It says it doesn't matter. The Anshe Mishmar can, if it's a zchut, they cannot push him away, and if it's a chova, they can... yeah, exactly. שכל אחד משמרות של ספקי האבות יכול לחופו שיעבור במשמר שלהם. שלא יאמרו, that they're not going to say, יש בכם כהן פסול שאינו ראוי לעבוד, because otherwise people are going to say, there's a Kohen amongst you that is not befitting to work. ואינו חולק, but, so he can work in the temple, do the services, because he's a Kohen, but you know what he cannot do? He cannot take the things, because that's money. That they tell him, hey, this is worth money. You want to deal with money? Money, you have to bring a proof, which if you are mishmar or not. אבל אינו נוטל חלק בקורבנות, but he doesn't take part of money things, שכל אחד יכול לדחותו ולומר לו, אין אתה מהמשמר שלנו. So they can't prevent him from working, but they can prevent him from taking the things. אם היו שניהם במשמר אחד, what happens if both of them were the same family? Both husbands, both Kohanim. Both Kohanim, not different weeks. They're both from the same week. בגמרא מבואר ששני הבעלים היו במשמר אחד, that the two husbands were from one family, ואף בבית אב אחד, even in that family in the same lottery, היינו שעבדו שניהם באותו יום של המשמר, that they both of them had actually worked on the same day of the mishmar, because if it's not on the same day, this one is on a Monday, this one is on a Wednesday, it's like the other Mishnah. He can come on Monday and he can come on Wednesday, whichever one he chooses. שהרי כל משמר נחלק לבתי אבות לפעמים באותו שבוע, because internally within the family they divide for the days of the week, נוטל חלק אחד בקורבנות של אותו היום. So, but if it's both of them on the same day, then he can also take one case. So you say, it's either this guy or this guy, but I'm taking one. He has a proof. שהרי מכל מקום לאותו משמר ולאותו בית אב הוא שייך. Because for that משמר and that בית אב, he belongs. But if they're working on different days, they can still push him away. Yeah? Of the week. Even of the week. Up to here.